You're watching Elected News. I'm your host, Luke Radel. We're here at the B&O Railroad Museum in Baltimore, Maryland.
Behind me is the train on which President Abraham Lincoln wrote the Gettysburg Address.
The now iconic speech sowed unity and hope amongst many Americans, fighting through the hard times of the Civil War. But in 1865, when the war had finally come to an end, many people were still bitter against President Lincoln.
We're about to visit Ford's Theater, where President Lincoln was assassinated in 1865.
5 days after the end of the Civil War in April of 1865, President Abraham Lincoln attended a performance of Our American Cousin in the box of Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C.
Behind me is the box where President Abraham Lincoln was shot and mortally wounded in 1865. He died a day later, just across the street.
After shooting the president, actor John Wilkes Booth jumped from the balcony onto the stage, ran out to escape by horseback. A nationwide manhunt was launched to find John Wilkes Booth and his co-conspirators in the act of murdering the president, and he was found 12 days later hiding in a home in Virginia.
Many people wonder where President Lincoln hangs out now. Right back here.
The tribute to President Lincoln was completed in 1922 and sits on the west end of the National Mall, directly across from the Washington Monument. The 19-foot-tall statue of President Lincoln was sculpted by Daniel Chester French.
Through this monument, more than 6 million people every year celebrate the legacy of President Lincoln.
Decades after the ending of the Civil War, a new conflict was brewing in America, the Civil Rights era. And just as Abraham Lincoln had done with the Gettysburg Address nearly a century before, Martin Luther King Jr. delivered a speech encouraging unity between all Americans. And he did so on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial.